Well, as you mentioned, the reaction in the betting markets, and you also saw Bitcoin falling in the aftermath of that debate. Bitcoin, of course, has been part of that network of Trump trades. Assets expected to do better under the former president if he won. Bitcoin falling, so also seems to be some kind of a signal there that perhaps Harris got the upper hand. Much of the debate did focus on areas where she is generally seen by voters as being a little bit stronger, particularly female voters and abortion. That took up one of the larger chunks of the opening half of the debate. And so that was one area that, early viewers probably saw her standing on more comfortable ground. And the president more on the defensive, having to talk and kind of explain his positions over the years on that issue.
On the economy, though, which is clearly the most important issue for American voters, inflation, employment, wages, what were the issues that candidates clashed on the U.S. economy?
Well, it was interesting right off the bat. The first question of Vice President Harris was, whether she thinks Americans are feeling better off about the economy than 4 years ago. We know a lot of polling shows that they're very frustrated with things like inflation, particularly the costs of groceries, gasoline, things like that. She kind of pivoted on that. She talked a little bit more about tax policy and Donald Trump's proposals to increase tariffs on all imports. But particularly on Chinese imports. She said she called that basically a Trump sales tax. And I think we'll see that line coming up more from the Democrats in the weeks ahead. But she said that's a sales tax that will hit all Americans. Donald Trump came back and said there's no sales tax. And he said he pointed out inflation was quite low during his term, particularly when he left office. And he said that, he had tariffs in place in his administration, but you didn't have this issue of higher inflation. So trying to really link Vice President Harris to the economic policies that Americans have been frustrated with over the last few years.